Hello everyone and welcome back to my journey. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Samantha. I am a 26-year-old from Ontario, Canada, and just over 7 months ago I had gastric bypass surgery. So in my last video, I covered what the first 6 weeks post-op looked like, and today's video is actually a really special video to me, at least. It's going to be a part 1 of the day of surgery. So I have definitely taken my time making this video and doing a lot of looking back in my notes and through photos that I had. So I will be sharing some photos from this day. I don't have a whole lot. I was a little preoccupied, but yeah, I do have some fun pictures to share that I'm really glad I took. And I just wanted to be really ready to make this video and share this part of my journey because this is probably like the most intimate part and one of the fondest memories for me to look back on is this day because so many amazing things happened. So before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you and welcome back to my returning subscribers. If you're not already subscribed, I highly encourage you to do so and also to hit the notification bell to be notified when I do post new videos. Another quick little thing that I wanted to say before I get into today's video is I wanted to give a quick shout out to my mom, my dad, my granny, and my boyfriend Craig for the million different ways that they supported me during this journey, mainly focusing on the day of surgery and a little bit afterwards where I did need some help getting around, and having my family here to help me meant the world to me, so I just wanted to say thank you. Also wanted to say thank you to all of my friends and family who offered me so much support during this time and still do. You guys talk me up so much and you all talked me down off the ledge the days leading up to surgery, and I really needed that. So thank you to everyone who helped me follow through with this decision and to everyone who still continues to root for me now that I'm on the loser's bench. So let's get into the story. I want to take you guys step by step through, how everything came about. My last day at work was on a Saturday, and on the Monday I got a call from one of my friends who actually works at the hospital to tell me what time my surgery was going to be. So with my clinic, they tell you the date of your surgery right before you start the pre-op diet, but you don't really know when the time is going to be. I was kind of hoping that it would be like super early in the morning because I didn't want to have a lot of the day to freak out about it. So when I got the call from my friend to tell me that my check-in time was 6 a.m., I was dying a little bit because that's quite early for a gal like me, but I was also really excited and really relieved because that meant I had no time to worry about it beforehand. All I had to do was wake up, get ready, and get myself to the hospital. So I ended up having my surgery at Kingston General Hospital, and that is a little bit unique because most of the bariatric surgeries that happen in Kingston happen at Hotel Dieu Hospital, which is a bit of a smaller hospital. They have more of a focus on bariatric surgery. However, I was considered high risk because I do have sleep apnea and high blood pressure, so they decided to do my surgery at Kingston General, which is the bigger hospital. So on January 20th, 2021, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I started to get myself ready for the day. I took a little video of me after I had gotten ready, which is at the end of the TikTok that I took documenting my days leading up to surgery, but that is pretty much the only photo evidence that I have of myself before I went to the hospital that day. So I got up, I got showered, I got dressed, zipped up my hospital bag with all of my belongings in it, most of which I did not use, and my mom, my dad, Craig, and myself loaded up into the truck and drove down to the hospital at 5:20 in the morning. Due to COVID, I was only allowed to have one person in the hospital with me, and that was Craig. So we ran around Kingston General Hospital trying to find where I was supposed to check in for my surgery. We got lost. we ended up down a random hallway where a really nice employee very quickly realized that we were lost and asked us where we needed to go. We told him, he directed us, and we got there in one piece. I checked in and we went and we sat in a waiting room for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I was called back to go and get weighed in and have my vitals checked and get changed into a hospital gown. So after I was changed into my hospital gown, my vitals were taken, I was brought into a room which actually ended up being kind of a recovery room of sorts, because I did end up in the same room a little after my surgery, but they took my vitals, and at that point Craig was told that he could come back in. So he came and sat with me for about a half hour. At this point it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I got to meet my surgeon and the anesthetist for the first time. We all shook hands and they were both really polite. I instantly felt a little bit better actually meeting them, so that was really cool. And while they were taking my vitals, they did realize that my blood pressure was a little bit high, but I was told that that was okay because they do kind of want your blood pressure a little high before they do a surgery like that. In this time, a nurse came in and she gave me some medication to kind of help pre-treat the pain before surgery. So I took my meds and she tried to get an IV in on my left hand. I'd never had an IV before, so you know, I don't really care about needles too much, but it didn't end up working out in the left hand and she did have to move to the right hand. That was fine. Like I said, I don't really care about needles, so it didn't bother me that much. The time is now about 7:45 and a nice nurse came back with a clipboard and she said, "Are you Samantha?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "Okay, I'm gonna have you come with me." I stood up. I had my hospital gown on and my stupid little booties on my feet that they have you put on before surgery, and I walked myself into the OR. There was like a line with a big set of doors and she let Craig walk up to that point with me, and that was like that was definitely the hardest part, was saying goodbye to Craig, because I was so anxious. I was worried that something horrible was going to happen, and I know you're not really supposed to think about stuff like that, but unfortunately that's all that I could do. So I just remember telling him that I loved him, and then really promptly turning around and starting to walk myself into the OR, because I knew that if I looked at him for like a second longer I was going to change my mind. And I knew that that was really hard for him, and it was really, really hard for me, but I knew what the potential was that was waiting for me on the other side, and I know that now we're gonna live a really long and happy life together, and it was totally worth it to make that decision to turn around. So I walked into this big room with a table in the middle of it, and everyone was super nice. It was really weird actually. I wasn't expecting that at all, but there were like 13 people in the room at least, and everyone knew my name, and everyone was like, "Hi Samantha, my name is," and they would introduce themselves, and I was so nervous. Like, I don't remember anyone's name, but I just remember being like, "Okay, hi, thank you. Okay, hi, thank you." And everyone greeted me really warmly and, you know, helped me along, and here's what we're gonna do, and then we're doing this because, and we're doing this because, and this is happening because, and this is to prevent this. And it was a lot of information to take in, but it kind of diverted my attention a little bit from what was actually happening. So that was great. I'd never had a surgery where I'd been put under before, so this was really nerve-wracking for me. I remember laying on the table and the anesthesiologist basically goes, "Samantha, your heart rate is really high. Are you feeling okay? Like, is this normal for you?" And I'm like, well, nothing about today is normal. I've never had a surgery before. I've never been put under. I've never had anything done. So I don't know what normal is at this point, and I'm freaking out. And he's like, "Okay, that's cool. You shouldn't be nervous. It's gonna be totally fine. I'm just gonna give you something that's gonna make you calm down a little bit." And I was like, that's awesome. I could really use that right now. I do not know what the medication was that he gave me to calm down, but that is the last thing that I remember before I woke up in the recovery room. So I think he probably gave me some like really low dose benzodiazepine, something that's just supposed to calm your anxiety before they, you know, explain to you what's supposed to happen, but I was gone. I don't remember a thing. Nothing. My next memory was waking up in the recovery room, and that is insane. It's such a weird feeling if you've never been put under before. I remember only bits and pieces, and it kind of happened just like it does in the movies where they show you like when someone's been out for a while and then they open their eyes and like the scene opens back up and then they hear one thing and then they fall back asleep again and they open their eyes and hear another thing and fall back asleep again. That's kind of how it went for me. I am going to continue this story in part 2, otherwise this video will be like a million hours long. So that was part 1 of the day of surgery. As I said, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do that and hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, which as of right now is every Monday. You can also go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My username is Samantha_RNY13. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next Monday for part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.